What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. The Great Replacement. So this started with me because I wound up seeing a video about, with Tariq Nasheed video about reparations, where he was talking to some white people about, their thoughts on reparations, the yay or nay, and the reasons why. And then somehow that spit me down a rabbit hole of the white supremacy thing, right? And because they were talking about I'm not a victim, the ones that were against it. And then that spawned into this thing where it's talking about the Great Replacement in some of these news stories. What the Great Replacement is, using the Charlottesville thumbnail of "You will not replace us," about white people wanting men and women feeling some type of way because they don't want to be replaced by immigrants or be replaced in population. Because if you don't know, the demographics of America are changing, and then mathematically white people are not going to be a majority in pretty soon. So that changes the dynamics of America. So, so people, you got groups of white people who are upset that this is not the country that they grew up in. But then again, and they're willing to protest and fight and blah, blah, blah. But I find it interesting because what happens is this. We have this conversation about Darwinism, survival of the fittest, and what I referenced earlier about being a victim, right? Well, here's the thing about that. You got people who say they're not going to be victims, right? They're not going to be a victim. And, people believe in Darwin's evolution of survival of the fittest. So, but if you actually, that's only, in my opinion, a white thing. Darwinism and survival, and the survival of the fittest part of it in particular is a white thing because, in the victim mentality is something white people say to everybody else, because when it comes to that process where if we decide to say, okay, survival of the fittest, only the strong survive, then all of a sudden white people are going to talk about all these legal and moral and ethical ramifications of why you can't do this and do that because it's wrong. It's only survival of the fittest and Darwinism, and and you're being a victim after they do something and then they cover their tracks with the law. So now I can't remember which movie or show I saw this on, where there was this I think it was Two Guns, the movie with Denzel and Mark Wahlberg, when the guy who played the crime leader, the cartel leader or whatever, he was like, his people said they're gonna take over America without firing a single shot, i.e. population, And I thought about that a long time ago, and part of the issue was with Black America, always trying to stamp down our population to make sure we don't grow, which, we haven't grown at the rates that we could have grown, but we've still actually been an exceeding population. We've doubled. We've 1 plus like 2 plus double. That's 2. I'm tripping. But while our population increases in spite of all of the things that go on in America, and what they do and what we do and what other groups do to us, the white population is decreasing. And I was thinking about that, talking about this. The majority of white America is over 55, and when they die, that's pretty much the end of white America's numbers game as far as population, where they're far and away, above everybody else. So it goes from like 10 to 1 to you know, 8, 10 to 1 to like 4 or 5 to 1. So those things are not good. And then everybody else kind of collectively overpopulates them. And they're not really trying to hear that, because that's not the world they wanted to live in. So I predict when that happens, you're going to see a lot of white people moving back to Europe and, Russia, so on and so forth, because they want to be around each other. And they might even try to click up with those people and come back over here and start to, and start a war. Just my opinion, just how those people think. Because well, we can go back and we got you guys with us, and then we could be the population, and we can get America back and make America great again. Which those other groups would not necessarily come back for those reasons, or come here and help out with that process for those reasons. And the reason why this is important is because, you see all these stuff that's going on, the current events and the media and these shootings, and you're trying to figure out why this is happening, why that is happening. People are frustrated. Personally, I think, going back to Francis Cress Wilson, this is a genetic annihilation fear. Like, hey man, if we, because white people as a group are the minority population on the planet, and then to become the minority population in America, when America is the crown jewel of white dreams of success, I think that changes the psychological dynamic of white people globally. So it's like they're gonna lose, because Canada, is predominantly white, but people don't view Canada the same way they do the United States of America, and we're right next to each other, right? So I think a lot of this has to do with that. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch you on the next one. Peace.